Hey guys, it's Irad and today we have another Elite Dangerous video. Now, one of the things that I liked to do when I was much younger back in the days were rare good runs. Now, this is something that I liked to do back in the days because, well, I was poor, I was broke, and I was able to make quite a few millions that way. And I didn't have a big ship back in those days. I was using maybe a Cobra, or further down the line, I was also using an Anaconda, and that was basically it. Now, I'm doing colonization, I've got a carrier, and things are doing much better for me in Elite Dangerous, but I recently bought that carrier, and also with that colonization effort, well, filling that carrier with materials like CMM composites can be quite expensive. So I'm broke again. So I thought maybe I would do a rare goods run once more, this time with a Panther Clipper, to see if it would be worth my while or not. And so my goal here is to completely fill, or at least as much as possible. I would like to have over 1,000 tons of rare goods here, see how much I make, see how long it takes, and so here we go. And so for the purpose of this endeavor, I went to Inara and designed a trip from my location here, which is called 285 sector BHH B24-6, which is the system I'm colonizing right now with the Rat Club. And I thought that maybe we could have a trip that would only take us to places that sell legal goods, because otherwise we could get in trouble, and I've been in trouble before getting goods that were illegal in some systems, and then I was scanned, and then I got a fine, and it was very annoying. So I wanted to avoid that, and so for the purpose of this video, we're only going to take legal goods. And so, as I said, I have designed a trip that took me to 48 different locations here, with a total of 1,145 tons. And I've wanted to make sure that all of the locations are separated by a maximum distance of 5 jumps. So with my Panther Clipper, I have a jump distance when I'm unladen of 23 light years. I know it's not that much, so that's also why I wanted to make sure that all the places were close to each other. So of course you've got your usual clusters like the Lave cluster and the Futen cluster and the Altair cluster. They're all there, of course, but I've also noticed that over the past couple of years, a lot of different locations have been added thanks to community goals. So you will find the list of everywhere I've been to in the description down below. Now, if you do decide to make such a trip, you are going to have to be mindful of a couple of things. First, some locations can be very far. Yes, I was unfortunate enough to not pay attention to the distance from the main star to the station, especially at 36 Ophiuchi. I had to go to Katzenstein Dock, and yeah, it's very far. We're not talking about Hurton Orbital far, but it's still very, very far. It's about half the distance of Hurton Orbital, and it took me a very long time to get there. I was able to cook, I was able to clean the bathroom, I was able to do the dishes and the laundry, and by the time I finished everything, there was still 5 minutes to go. So yeah, be mindful of distances, and yeah, prepare some side activities and alt tab just in case. Also, you are going to be the prime target of some pirates, especially NPCs, so be ready for that and make sure that you can always escape some interdictions, because they are going to be happening. Last but not least, if you are a member of a power, well, you might be scanned as well, so don't rely too much on the auto-docking when you are arriving at the stations. What I did is I tried to use the boost to position my ship as close as possible to the letterbox, and then just use the auto-docking once I was close enough and safe enough. So yeah, it did happen. Sometimes I was scanned, I was shot, but my hull never went below the 80% threshold. So I still had to pay some repairs, but it only happened 2 times because, as I said, I was careful. So by now you might be wondering, what is the result? How much money did I make? How long did it take? Well, it took about 11 hours for these 48 locations, so that was a long time. I started at 36.765 million. I finished at 49.463 million. So that's about 13 million credits of profits here, but it's not just that, because I came back to my home location where I've got my power, and this is stronghold, so I was able to get some merits as well for selling those rare goods. Now, I know there was a 35% penalty because it's a stronghold. I could have gone to another location, but it's just my, I would say, my home here in Elite Dangerous, the Liabes system in Imperial space. So I have also made 8,240 merits, which from my experience, I mean, that's about what I made the last cycle, is going to get me about 5 million credits in rewards. And it's not just that, guys. In your journey, you are also going to perhaps discover some systems that you have never been to. So you are also going to perhaps scan those systems, and then you're going to sell the exploration data. It's 500,000 credits. I know it's not that much, but hey, a little profit is a little profit. So I'll still take it for a grand total of 18.5 million credits. As I said, it's not very much, but it was a good chance to catch up with the rare goods trades and also do a little bit of tourism as well. I've been able to discover quite a few interesting places, as you could see in the pictures in today's video. So if you are also interested in having a little break from what you're normally doing, maybe some regular trading or colonization or bounty hunting, then that might be an interesting activity, and it's also fun to be making some merits on the side. Alright guys, well, that is pretty much all for today's video. Are you also doing rares from time to time, or perhaps you are fitting a carrier with that? I know that you cannot have merits when you're doing this, unfortunately, so yeah, maybe it's just for the money if you're doing that with a carrier. Anyway, we'll have another video very soon, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, hit that like button, as it really helps a lot, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.